Hey boys, it's Arm9. Today I'm making a money routine, how I make money in GTA Online, and I've been wanting to make a video like this for like a long time, and I was trying to do it in a really clean cut, super good format, and have my talking points all separated and like planned out and get like the gameplay of it and everything like that, but then I've been trying to do it and like it just hasn't felt right. So what I'm doing today is I'm doing a live commentary, and I feel like I'm going to be able to get my points across a lot faster in this video, and I feel like it's going to be just a lot more cohesive. I'm going to start this video off by saying that I like to make money passively. That is my number one thing. This is not going to be like the best money per hour. This is not going to be, crazy money per hour sort of stuff like that. It's not going to be do the KO Perico heist or do the contract over and over again. This is just how I like to play GTA Online. If you're wondering, if you're new to my channel, that's how much money I have. 77 million in the bank and like 1.3 in cash. And we're gonna pick up some more money today. I've purposely let my safes like fill up and stuff so that I can show you guys and talk about everything. But how I like to start off in online every single time that I get on is by immediately requesting the Oppressor Mark II. I also spawn at my garment factory. And the reason that I spawn at the garment factory is because it's right beside my Darnell Bros warehouse, which is just here beside us. And I always start off in online by passive sourcing. So what I do is I go to my Darnell Bros warehouse, and I immediately go inside and I will find the warehouse worker that's in here, and I pay them 7,500 bucks. They come back with 1.7 crates on average, which is closer to 2 than 1. So it's you're kind of, I don't know, you're not making like more money than if you sourced like manually, but you're saving yourself the headache of having to go and source, and you can only source for one warehouse at a time when you're doing like the actual CEO sourcing, and then there's a cooldown after that, so you got to source to a different warehouse and stuff. So I exclusively fill my warehouses by passive sourcing. This is just how I've always done it. This is how I like to do it. Obviously, ever since this was introduced into the game. Before, I actually didn't really do CEO cargo very much because I found it to be quite annoying to actually go and like do the sourcing manually and everything. And I actually found out in probably 2021 or so that you can actually own multiple warehouses. I think a lot of people are stuck on that you can only own one warehouse, but in fact you can own 5, and you can own 5 large ones. And so I've talked about this at length multiple times, like especially in the CEO cargo guide and stuff like that, which if you want to know more about CEO cargo and how it all works and everything, that guide will be linked in the description, and so will pretty much everything else that I talk about here. But I'm going to show you guys this super quick on the map. I spawned at the Darnell Bros garment factory. I immediately go to the Darnell Bros warehouse, and then I own this warehouse, which is the logistics depot, then the furniture warehouse, then Cypress, and then I own the Walker and Sons warehouse. So this saves me a lot of time because I can just start here, go there, go there, go there, go there, go there, and then from Walker and Sons I'll go up to the car wash and my salvage yard as well. I prefer to make money like passively in GTA. It's my favorite way to make money because I just don't enjoy repeating the same thing over and over again. I know there's a lot of guys that love to just repeat KO over and over and over again, and I used to kind of do that with like contact missions when GTA Online was first sort of a thing, like probably in 2014, 2015. And I don't know, now that there's other ways to make money in this game, passive ways to make money, I'd rather do that and do other stuff in the meantime. Now, granted, I think the only reason that I do so well with like passive stuff is because of the amount of time that I spend in game, which obviously, being a GTA Online YouTuber, it's not going to be a realistic expectation that like everybody is going to be able to do what I do. You can take this, and I'm sure you can apply it to your own game, even if you only play for an hour a night or a couple hours a week, whatever it is, you can still do this, and hopefully you can make some good money with it. Now, something to note about the CEO passive source is that it takes 48 minutes. So typically what I'll do is I'll source immediately as soon as I get into the lobby. Then I will go up and I will typically go to the salvage yard first, but in this case I do have the car wash now, which is new to the game obviously, so this has become kind of a new part of my money routine. And so what I will do is stop off at the car wash, I'll run inside quickly, and I will collect my safe, because the safe max is at 100k in here, which obviously is not very much. So you got to clean this out every like 3 in-game days, otherwise you're effectively losing money. Obviously, depending on how much your safe makes. My safe makes 26,500 every single in-game day, so I have to clear it every 3 days. So that's just something that I do. So now I've collected that money, and now we're going to go to the salvage yard. And typically what I will do is I'll do a tow truck mission. And what I like to do in the salvage yard is just hop in here. We'll see what kind of money's in the safe. I think it's only like 48k right now because I collected it when I was on a couple hours ago. We were filming a hide and seek, so I got 48 bands in there. It goes up to 250 because I have the safe upgrade, so I'm going to leave that alone. But I am going to do a tow truck mission because every 2 in-game days, or every 2 sets of like the $24,000 deposited into the safe, your money will go down with the tow truck business. So the next time I get paid, I think I'll get paid like $21,800, I'm pretty sure is the exact amount. So before that happens, I will go and do a tow truck mission. Now, the tow truck mission itself will also pay me between $32,000 and $40,000, but it's also going to effectively give me $48,000 of safe income as well for just doing 1 tow truck mission. This one, as you guys could see at the start of it there, was only 0.9 miles, which is not bad at all. So I got lucky with this one. Typically, if I got a really long mission, I would either use my iron mule to fly the tow truck to the truck, or to the vehicle that I'm picking up, or I will destroy it and I'll go and collect my nightclub safe, which is a good thing to do in the meantime because there is a 2-minute cooldown now with the tow truck missions. So that is something that you should keep in mind, is just keeping going with something, because doing something is better than sitting there for 2 minutes and doing nothing. So that's at least my philosophy with it. So anyway, we got the Primo here, so we're gonna back up and we're gonna grab it and we're gonna start towing it. We'll get this back to the salvage yard. I realize that this isn't going to be everybody's favorite way of making money, and I realize that there is, like, you know, a lot of ways that you can make way more money per hour than this, but as far as I'm concerned, this is like a super easy way of doing it where you don't really have to get your hands too dirty and you really don't have to do all that much. And I still make, like, I'd say roughly $500,000 a night sort of thing in online. I mean, as you guys can see, I mean, we started this off at 1.29 million in cash, and we're already up to almost another 100 grand on top of that. And I've spent 35 grand on supplies with the CEO cargo warehouses. And then I'll go and collect my safe money here. I'm going to go to the nightclub, collect the safe money there as well. You can kind of rack up money pretty quick. And if you optimize everything right and you really stay on top of it, this is like a really good way to make some money. So we got the Primo back here. In 48 minutes, the Primo will get salvaged and I'll get the payout for it. So I doubt I'll still probably be filming this video when that comes in, but that will happen at some point soon here. So let's go to the safe here. We're gonna pop this open, collect the 48,000 out of it. I do recommend with the salvage yard, if you have the extra money, to get the bigger safe so that you don't have to really worry about it, because typically it would max at $100,000. Being able to go above that is good. I mean, typically I will collect it when it's at about like 90 something thousand, 96,000 I think it would be. It is worth the upgrade though, if you got the money, I think. So now I'm going to go to the nightclub and we're going to hop into the nightclub. I'm going to do hopefully a kick out troublemaker mission, because that's going to give me 25% nightclub popularity if I can get that mission. My safe has 245,000 in it right now because I haven't collected this for a little while. I just did the missions. Of course, it gives me the VIP mission to show you guys, which is just awesome. So anyway, we're going to open the safe here. Technically, I could skip this VIP mission and just do a kick out troublemaker the next time that I get on, or after 48 minutes, because that will recycle the mission. So I could just take the $45,000 payout that the safe is going to get for this like increment and then come back later. We'll see about that. I really don't feel like driving a VIP home right now, so I think that we're going to actually just go ahead and skip this. Could also go to the nightclub basement and cycle the DJs if I really cared, but I have a feeling that I'll probably get the kick out troublemaker mission if I come back here in a few minutes. So anyways, we're done with the nightclub. Now typically what I will do is I'll go and collect my agency safe, and then from there I will elect to do something. Now typically I might do another tow truck mission just to further extend the tow truck payments to be like $72,000 in the safe, plus whatever it pays me between 32 and 40 grand for the car itself. So that is always an option. And then usually what I can also do is go to my other businesses and reduce the heat level in them, so that my car wash makes as much money as possible. That's another option that I could do right now as well. My agency safe has another $100,000 in it. That's because my security contracts are maxed, and that means that you get paid $20,000 every in-game day. So I've been in game for 5 days, I suppose it is, since I've checked this. So that's another 100 grand for me for doing absolutely nothing other than completing those security contracts and getting paid, like, I don't even know, I think with some double money involved, I think like close to 20 million for doing those, which is pretty crazy. And I don't know, I seem to do okay with my passive strategy. And like I said closer to the start, I know that this isn't going to be like the best way to make money for everybody. This is just how I do it, and I get a lot of questions about how I make money. My agency safe, of course, just got another 20,000 into it right after I collect it and leave. But anyway, that's fine. Next up, what we're going to do is we're going to go to Higgins Heli Tours and just make sure that the heat level is low enough there, because I want to keep it ideally lower so that I get the money into my car wash safe. Heat's decently high in here. I think that I will go ahead and just do one of the heli tour missions, just because I might as well. Another thing that you could do, if you wanted to copy my strategy, obviously, the time trial and the HSW time trial are both available. I actually did the HSW one earlier tonight, but the regular time trial is technically available right now, so I could go and do that. And if you do both of those every single week, that's like 350k right there, which, not that 350k is like a lot of money, but it adds up. It adds up to about $18 million a year if you were to do the time trials every single week, which, the last time I said $18 million a year, people were like, oh, $18 million a year is nothing. Like, there's no point in even doing that. I'm like, what do you mean? It takes like 3 hours of your time in a year of playing GTA to make 18 mil. That's probably the best money per hour in the game ever. So, like, I don't know why people trip out about that, but I realize in the grand scheme of things, 18 mil in GTA Online is like not a lot of money, but 18 mil you wouldn't have had anyways, and it's not like it takes much time, so I think it's worth it personally. But obviously that choice is up to you and whoever's watching, so do with that what you will. Yeah, so time trials, they're an option. Another thing that I would recommend to pretty much anybody who doesn't have it fully completed or maxed out is doing security contracts. You can do a security contract and it'll take you between, I don't know, 2 and 5 to 7 minutes sort of thing, like 2 and 7 minutes, depending on which one you do and how good you are at it, the vehicle you use to get there, all of that good stuff. And every 5 that you complete, you'll get another $500 every in-game day into your agency safe, which I think is worth it. Like, in the grand scheme of things, I know it's not a lot of money, but you can make a lot of money through that agency safe, and it's completely passive, which, like, I don't think that anybody doesn't want to make money completely passively. And once you've done the work too, like the security contracts, like I completed all 201 of them, and since then I haven't had to do a single security contract ever again, and I still make 20k every in-game day. Like, it's paid itself off in droves to me, to, you know, put in that work and do that, because, you know, every few days my agency safe is maxed out. I get, you know, a couple $100 grand, and that's awesome. Obviously, again, I do play the game more than the average person, probably at least. So I think that, you know, that definitely helps me for sure, but I don't know. I do think it is worth it. I really do think it is worth it. So that's my opinion. You obviously can feel free to disagree with that entirely. All right, just dropped off the tourists. That is good. We're gonna leave the area. We're gonna go directly to Smoke on the Water, which is one of the new businesses with the Money Friends DLC, as is Higgins Heli Tours. But the Smoke in the Water one is pretty interesting. I think it's a glitch. I would assume it must be. So, I mean, hopefully Rockstar doesn't see this, but I'm sure I'll get blamed no matter what if they do or don't, and if this gets patched. But there is a way that you can reduce the heat on this particular business without having to really do much. All right, so at Smoke in the Water, we got the heat level. As you guys can see, it's like a little bit higher. So you can access the laptop and you can launch the weed delivery mission. It'll kick you out and it'll spawn you outside here. You're gonna run to the left side every single time because that's where the van spawns. And if you get into the van, and then if you check your texts, okay, at Vespucci Beach, as you guys can see, he said blueberry cheesecake is the type that I'm delivering here. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna hop out the first delivery site, and you're going to press E, blueberry cheesecake. You're gonna drop the package. And then as soon as you do that, you can blow up the van. And if you do this, if you hop inside here, you should see the heat level in the bottom right corner, unless they fixed it. No, it's at 0. Perfect. So that can get rid of your heat level, Smoke in the Water, which is cool. So now typically what I'll do after I've done that is I will find the stash house, which for me it's up in Sandy Shores. So we will get heading up there, but before we do, I'm actually going to request my terabyte, and this is something that I will typically do. I'm pretty sure all my businesses are going to be full on supplies, but this is something that I like to do is use my terabyte with the master control terminal in it to find out if any of my businesses need to be filled and then fill them accordingly. Master control terminal. Okay, so the bunker needs supplies and Coke needs supplies as well. Acid supplies are also the cheapest in the game, so having the stash house supplies go to my acid lab. I'm going to call Mud. Okay, I can't buy supplies because the acid lab is full. Okay, so out of the two things that are available in here, we got gun running supplies and Coke. Both are 75,000 to purchase the supplies for. But the Coke supplies will be worth more than the gun running supplies, so I'm going to buy supplies for gun running, and then I'm going to get free supplies for Coke from doing the stash house, of course. So now I'm going to head up to Sandy Shores, and we're going to go ahead and take care of the stash house. Alright, so I'm almost at the stash house here. Quick bonus tip too, if you hold spacebar on PC as well as W with the oppressor, your oppressor will go like 20 miles per hour faster, which is pretty cool. I don't know how many of you know that, but that is the thing. And it does work on console too. I'm just not sure what the key is. But anyway, we're at the stash house, so I'm going to equip the assault shotgun. We're going to quickly knock down the door here. We're going to hop inside. These guys are really easy to kill. You can usually peek this corner, get them in the legs, and then there's going to be one in this corner, there's going to be one in this corner over here, and then there's always one in this corner as well. So we got that. The safe code is right here, so it's 442337. So obviously if the number is less than 50, it's easier to go this way. So 23 and 37. So yeah, always go the way that it's quicker. If it's less than 50, go up. If it's more than 50, go down. Saves you a little bit of time unlocking the safe, which is cool. Hopefully you already knew that, but if you didn't, there you go. And that will buy me some supplies for Coke. Or not buy me, give me some supplies for Coke, as you guys can see. So you can kind of inadvertently like choose which business the supplies are actually going to go to by making sure the rest of them are filled. So, or have supplies on the way. That's the other option. So now we got the time trial up at the top of the map. So we're just going to quickly run up there and do that because why not? I might as well. It's another $100,000 that I can make super quick here. So might as well do that. Typically after I've done the stash house and like everything that I've showed you here, something that I will normally do if it works for me at the time is sell the nightclub goods from the nightclub basement. That'll usually sell for about 1.2 mil for me. I usually wait until it's around that sort of price to do my sale mission. So that is something that I would typically do. That's always a super easy solo mission to do because it's always one vehicle. Another thing that I will sometimes do if I'm feeling the need to is do an acid lab sale because again that's always only one vehicle, so that works out really well for me as well. So yeah, those are two more things that I will typically do. For the time trial, I'm going to use a Banshee GTS. This is up in Adam, so I don't know. You can find out the time trial end location by doing that, and then you can put a waypoint to it, and then you can hold F to respawn. Your car will be fine, well, unless you damage it, and then you can go ahead and start with a waypoint to the target location. So that's what I will do here, and then we're gonna rocket down here in the Banshee GTS, which is gonna be super fast for this, so that's very nice. Train tracks here could be a little bit of a time saver, low-key, but I don't think you'd be able to go as fast, so honestly it's probably 6 on one, half a dozen on the other, if that makes sense. So let's just book it down here in the GTS, and I crashed. That's super unfortunate. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Some of the regular time trials are actually pretty hard to complete still, even with HSW cars, which is kind of crazy to think about. The HSW cars also, if you weren't somehow aware of this, HSW cars are usable in the regular time trials, so they make a big difference to which time trials you can complete and how easy they are to complete, obviously. So as you can see, the Banshee GTS is making pretty quick work of this one. The Shih Tzu Hakuchu Drag is also another really good bike or vehicle to do these time trials with. Of course, I fucking bin it there. Oops. Okay, well, we're gonna just go this way. As you can see though, with the GTS, I mean, in some like mildly okay driving, it's still pretty easy to complete these time trials. Like, I messed up quite a few times there and I still got it. Still got 101,000, which is really nice, so that's good. For the sake of the video, I could sell my Acid Lab or my nightclub goods, but I am probably going to be selling with a full lobby of viewers on Friday of this week. So that means I can get a 50% high demand bonus on both those things. So another thing that you could do too, though, if you wanted to copy my method or whatever of making money, is potentially go to the hangar and passive source. This week, Rooster's getting double crates, guaranteed. So I'm going to go ahead and do that because I might as well, because it's like 2 crates for the price of, well, less than 1 is like good. So I'll go ahead and head to my hangar and passive source here, only because I'm near Fort Zancudo. Typically I don't actually do this. This definitely isn't part of my routine, especially with the hangar at the military base. It's kind of out of the way a little bit, but this is another thing you can do. And if you do this, especially when double crates are guaranteed, you can fill up a hangar pretty quick. And the hangar, you can do obviously the special like bonus sales, or you can just, you know, fill it right up manually with whatever it is that you're wanting to do. So anyway, 25k, and he's going to come back with 2 crates, which will be worth a minimum of 60k. So that's pretty good money as well. So we got the Molotov. Now we're going back to the city. This is the point in the sort of money routine where I kind of just go and like record videos. Usually, like, this is usually what I do, and not even what just I do, but what Twingo, NPC, and Bosch and Frog all do before we actually go ahead and record. And then usually in between videos we'll go and do the stuff that we can do again, like passive source, for example. Every 48 minutes that's up, whether you're online or offline, by the way. That is something that you can do. Another thing that I totally forgot about doing is collecting my arcade safe. So I'm going to do that because it's actually relatively full right now. It's got like 80k in it, so I might as well just get that out of the way as well. So another good thing you can do is payphone hits. There's one that just spawned on my minimap that kind of alerted me to that. That's something you can do if you want to earn a little bit more money. Obviously the new money laundering missions as well, with the car wash or smoke in the water or Higgins heli tours. Those are also like decent money. It's like 35k for like, you know, 3 minutes of work, which is not bad by any means. So that's another option that you guys can always do as well. But then basically, like, you know, while we're recording Manhunt and Hide and Seek, and again, this is something that's kind of exclusive to me versus you guys, is, you know, while we're doing those games, our businesses can be producing product that we can then sell at a later date. And again, like I said earlier, we sell with viewers a lot of the time, so we get a 50% bonus on that because of the high demand bonus. Even selling in a crew session with people that are also in your crew. So that is pretty cool. So that's something that I do recommend, is getting into a crew session or something like that, selling with people, getting an extra 50% bonus. Might as well, right? And that's typically like the end of my money grind. I mean, when my CEO cargo warehouses are full, I will sell them all as soon as possible. Even when they're close to full, I will sell them just so I don't get raided while I register as a CEO. Ghost raids, as far as I'm concerned, they've never happened to me. I've never been ghost raided with CEO cargo, so I'm not saying they don't exist. I've just never experienced it myself one time. So I don't know. And I've made a couple $100 million with CEO cargo alone. So do with that information what you will. They say to only fill them to like 77 crates, I think. And that's like the cutoff before the random ghost raids allegedly start. So you can do that as well, and then sell your CEO cargo warehouses. I'd sell them as soon as they get to that point, or as soon as they get full, and just rinse and repeat doing the passive sourcing. Typically when I'm on for 3 to 4 hours a night, sometimes less, sometimes a little bit more. It really depends, but I can usually get in 4 or 5 passive sources a night, which enables me to fill my CEO cargo warehouses very, very quickly. It's just a matter of like, I think 14 days of 14 days in a row of sourcing 4 or 5 times, and you'll have full warehouses if you just take the averages and do the math on it. So that's a pretty good way to make money. If you sell all 5 large warehouses, it's $11.5 million, and you get a half-hour sale timer for each mission, and the most vehicles you'll get are 3. And all 3 vehicles are very capable, and you will have plenty of time to sell. So that's why I think CEO cargo is like the best business in the game. Another thing that you could do if you did want to, if you were bored and you just wanted to make a little bit more money a little bit quicker, you can go to the auto shop. You can do the customer deliveries. That's a thing. You can also do the MC bike delivery through the MC Clubhouse. That's another quick way to make like 50K. So sometimes I incorporate those into my strategies every day. Most of the time I don't anymore, because I'm fairly comfortable in online now. So it's just sort of like a maintaining my money sort of situation. But if you're really trying to get some money up, obviously doing that extra stuff will add up and can be very beneficial to you. So I do recommend doing that if that is the case. If you're trying to really run your money up, I think it's good. So anyway, guys, that's been my money routine video in GTA Online. I know you guys have been asking for this for a very long time, and I'm sorry it's taken me so long to come up with it. Again, like I said at the start of the video, I just sort of realized that like the best way of doing it is sort of just doing like a live commentary like this, which is typically not what I do when it comes to, money guides or videos of this sort. I hope you guys like it. If you want to see more like this, or you want to see me doing like other stuff to make money, let me know in the comment section down below. I can also put out a video of what it's like selling for like a 50% high demand bonus. I could do something like that if you guys are curious how much more money I'll make. And stuff like that. I do have footage of some of those evenings, so I can do that. So let me know if you guys want to see that. And yeah, anyway, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, or if you learned something. Dislike if you didn't. Consider subscribing if you're new. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care. Peace.